Material desires are nothing but born from ignorance. Yeah. Good. And ignorance is cause of all evil. All evil. Evil is the cause of evil. Yeah. So here, so that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us what to pray with Krishna. Pray for how to pray to Krishna. That that thing is there in Chaitanya Shikshashtakam. Yeah, which means gradually that one should pray only for ahaituki bhakti every birth after birth.
அது எப்படி கூறப்பட்டிருக்கிறது என்றால் ஒவ்வொருவரும் இவ்வாறு பிரார்த்திக்க வேண்டும். அகைதுகி பக்தி, ஒவ்வொரு பிறவியிலும் நான் பக்தி கொண்டு செய்ய வேண்டும் என்று பிரார்த்திக்க வேண்டும்.
And this is what a devotee should practice every day. That you don't want wealth, you don't want followers, etc. In this way, one day we become perfect. That by being in the association of the devotees and relishing Krishna consciousness, that gradually we will give up the desires for self gratification. Still, one has to keep aspiration for spiritual progress. That's why Rupa Goswami says, Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya. He tells not just controlling senses is enough. First shloka is says, Vacho Vega Manasatu Vedam Jiva Vega Savek Gita Niyanta Niyamishni Raha. He tells that, but also he tells, afterwards, Utsaha individual, Nishchaya Dhairya, which means confidence and firm faith.
அதன் பிறகு நமக்கு நம்பிக்கையும் உறுதியான
That and also this sadhana should be performed regularly every day.
சக்தி தினந்தோறும் உறுதியாக பின்பற்றப்பட வேண்டும்.
That in this way, gradually, one makes progress in spiritual life. That one can gradually reach to the level of samadhi. And this is what Shastra prescribes. That he's not telling you to stay in sattva guna.
இது சாஸ்திரத்தில்
Sattva guna is favorable, but to live in there and not progress, it may cause a downfall also. That we think that we are people most of the time they think that in general people they think I should be nice to others and that's it and help people. There is not much required. Serve the country, be in discipline, be in moral, etc. That one has to make a substantial progress. That is what wanted. And we see that most of the time we don't desire for solid spiritual progress. That is another issue. We don't really want much Krishna. We don't want really Krishna actually. Hmm.
விசுவதற்கு தயாராக இல்லை.
That we are most of the time our mood is not really desiring Krishna.
கிருஷ்ணருக்காக ஆசைப்பட வேண்டும்.
Yeah. That most of the time we think we get rid of some problems, we perform some devotion, and it's like very much that should be pleasing to me, and also it's pure. And I'm chanting, my family got well, and I got married, the family is smoother, and the intensity is not there. It's going on. Uh, Within the core of the heart, the hankering for spiritual progress is not there. Um, that's why one should regularly associate with advanced devotees, satsang, and regularly hear from them. Regularly, one should understand the goal of otherwise we forget. And the influence of this material world is such that the moment you go out, you may desire something else. That's why it is said always to be in an advanced devotees association and learn from him the mood to serve God and Guru and Gaya. It's particularly someone who has no anarthas, not much anarthas. Hmm. Hmm. And in this, and he, one who is very eagerly, seriously engaged in preaching and sharing Krishna consciousness with others. And in particular, the intention is benefit others and who is free from envious nature. That if you serve anybody who is free from all this envious nature and unwanted bad habits, he will also share the same qualities within him. That a devotee who is free from envious and malicious intent and who is sincerely serving and by serving that person you will also get the same qualities.
இதர குணங்களிலிருந்து விடுவித்து ஒருவருக்கு சேவை செய்வதன் மூலமாக நாமும் அந்த நல்ல குணத்தை பெற முடியும்.
Yeah, just like in those days they used to say the monks they travel from one place to other places, sannyasis. Now also sannyasis travel and they keep moving, and wherever they go they stay in a village. Some villages. Hmm. So wherever he stays, the villagers they come and meet the sadhu, sannyasi,
தன்னுடைய கிராமத்தில் உள்ள கிராமவாசி
and they bring fruits, flowers, some dakshina, something to eat, and then different types of gifts. In this way, they have association with a sannyasi,
இதன் மூலம் அவர்கள் சன்னியாசியுடன் தொடர்பு
and by giving gifts and serving the sannyasi, gradually the householders also get the same qualities of sannyasi. by being with an advanced soul, gradually you will get the same good qualities which is within him. And the sannyasis are fearless, and the intention is to benefit the householders and make them Krishna consciousness. This pure mood reflects. And the mood of dependence on Krishna. The sannyasi has no house, no money, no nothing. The same mood gradually a householder also will develop. The mood that only dependence is Krishna. The moment he sees somebody is not a Krishna conscious man, immediately he injects in Krishna conscious. That's the mood. Goes house to house, travels village to village, and make sure everybody locates this place to that Krishna. That the progress, spiritual progress, that is his only mode. Just like every rule and regulations are meant for only to think of Krishna and never forget him. Whatever rules we follow, whatever regulations we go through, and all everything, whatever we do, it's all meant for thinking of Krishna all the time. The moment we are not doing that part, then rules and regulations has no value. Rules are there just to remind and constantly think of Krishna. And there are rules that which support these principles. No eating, no gambling. These are all supporting principles. A lot of people in this world also there are brahmacharis and sannyasis who are not devotees. A lot of people in this world they also follow rules of brahmachari and the sannyasa. In this world, there are more sense-controlled people from devotees also. Better than devotees, sense-controlled people are also there. We see that some people are very much sense-controlled outside. That, but when you have no connection with Krishna, then the rules and regulations has no meaning to it. Your rules and regulations are supporting and making for Krishna conscious activities, then only it has some meaning. Waking up at Brahma Muhurta, what is the point? It's better, the chanting is better. Yeah. So in this way, every rules, regulations are supporting to think of Krishna and go beyond the bounds of, and hearing about great devotees also gives us renunciation and attachment for Krishna. That's why the activities of pure devotee and his devotion to Krishna should be heard regularly. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was constantly hearing about Prahlad Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj, repeatedly he was hearing their devotional service to Krishna and the prayers of Prahlad and Guru. That it was so exalted that he was, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he was hearing about these little boys' devotional service. And in this way, gradually one develops the same mood of bhakti for Krishna. Yeah, that's why we should hear from acharyas, the great devotees, about their life, their devotional sentiments. There is a one of our acharya, who's Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and who was in the 17th century in our Gaudiya Sampradaya. And he was a unmatched scholar, and he was a great devotee, a great scholar. He was living in Vrindavan, and he composed numerous devotional works for the devotees. Composed, wrote, wrote numerous devotional works. Uh, and but beyond his learning, he was known for his deep humility and absorption in the mood of the gopis of Vrindavan. We see that when we go to Vrindavan, we are mostly there are many samadhis and great devotees places in Vrindavan and Goval. And the equally the samadhis and the devotees places like Krishna's location, and that there are the devotees where they were performing austerities and the devotion to Lord Krishna is equally in numbers. And Krishna Chakravarti Thakur, actually, he was living near Radhakund, and he was performing his bhajan in a solitude, alone. He was constantly meditating on Srimati Radharani and Krishna. But he was meditating that I am the servant of these divine couples. Krishna Chakravarti Thakur was so absorbed in Krishna consciousness that he saw every creeper, trees, and trees of Vrindavan as alive. That his meditation would go so deep. Sometimes he feels ecstasy and weep loudly. Weep means cry. So one night, while chanting near Radha Kund, he entered a state of trance. Trance means samadhi. Yeah. That in that vision, he saw himself within the spiritual realm of Vrindavan. That he saw himself as a little girl, and he is extending. And he was engaged in serving Radharani. And she called him with a gentle smile and said, Radharani, she told the little girl that bring me the fruit, bring me the fruit of Krishna. It's flute. And with the trembling hands, the little girl, she brought the flute and offering it to her with devotion. Suddenly, the, the dream broke, and he woke from the dream, and he could that from that time onward, he could no longer think of himself as a scholar or ascetic, and he saw himself as only a little girl servant of Radharani, serving in the Vrindavan. Uh, they are called as manjaris. 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 Manjaris means they are tender girls. They are younger than the teenagers, below 13. Uh, so they are called as manjaris, which means they are not big girls. Little girls. And the gopis are a little bigger than the manjaris. And so this is the deep meditation that when Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was serving and chanting, he got into trance. You could see real Vrindavan in front of his eyes. So every devotee, by chanting his holy name of Krishna, he can get into a samadhi state. That it's assurance that when we chant sincerely, you should, you can just get into samadhi. That all the time we are talking about the mind is going here and there. I could not control the mind there. That but the moment we chant, we start to think of so many other things. That one should overcome this gradually, gradually, and come to a steady state of mind that when you chant Krishna's name, just hear it. And that also we see that in Upadesamrita, but Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur talks about it. Shravana Dasa, Smarana Dasha. Gradually, gradually, you will also go to the stage of Samadhi. And we should not think Samadhi will come after so many years. It depends on our seriousness. That when we seriously chanting Krishna's name and by Krishna's grace, we have 2 hours of time. There is a very good amount of time to be in Samadhi for 2 hours. That you have an opportunity to be in Samadhi for 2 hours, 120 minutes. The only thing is we don't want to be in. It's like we are not actually developed a taste for getting into hearing Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that he chanted and chanted and chanted. That you don't know how much happiness is available in Samadhi state. Have you been to Dubai? How many of you been to Dubai? Mm. The roads are so good. You see Lamborghini, you see Ferrari, Rolls Royce flying on the roads. It's so beautiful. It's like the pinnacle of the material advancement and happiness. They have no what do you call this normal cars, Mahindra, Maruti. There is no cars at all. What is it? Bentley and Ferrari and Lamborghini. And the state, voila, they don't use these food second time. And most of the people there, it's filthy rich, isn't it? And unbelievable rich they go through. And they enjoy the happiness like anything. Okay. You will not understand it because you go there. The petrol is cheaper than the drinking water. And yeah, the drinking water is more expensive than the diesel and petrol. The filthy richness you can see there. It's all toilet is gold and you know, so look Similarly, just wanted to tell you that the Samadhi stage has unlimited happiness. We are too much mental. We are too much on the mental platform. It's too much related to the mind. The mental stage is a very, it's like painful stage. The mind kills you and terrifies you. Has all sorts of gets you to hell. This way, the pain is so much when we so much identify with this mind and this ego. That's why one should control the mind and steady, give up the mind, raise high, going high and getting deep into samadhi, transcendental stage. That the ones you attain even once, just like have you ever kind of eaten the rasmalai of Vrindavan? Have you ever tasted the lassi of Barcelona? Have you ever eaten the soul papdi from Govardhan? After eating there, you don't like anything of other places. Soul papdi or Barcelona. You always think about Barcelona. Similarly, once we tasted the higher happiness in spiritual life, like this holy name has a touch, you will become mad. So one should develop a desire to raise high and go into the highest stage in Krishna consciousness. Then you will become untouched and you become really spiritual. I can read from Bhagavad Gita and we can end up that it's in sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The stage of perfection called samadhi. That in spiritual life, the perfection you will achieve at the stage of samadhi. Perfection means that you want to make a peda, for example, a perfume. You boil the milk, keep on boiling it for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. After that, the water evaporates, the milk becomes condensed, turns into burfi. Similarly, gradually, when the devotion is intense, you give up even sattva, then get into samadhi stage. So it says one's mind is completely restrained. Restrained means control. The mind has nothing to do with it. Your job, sit and sit, stand and stand. Completely unrestrained. And not only that, when we reach this stage, Prabhupada translates in this commentary, you will see the soul with your own eyes. That with your own eyes, not this eyes, the soul's eyes. Or maybe I don't know, as one's ability to see the self as a pure mind. Mind becomes very pure. That the ability to see the self by the pure mind. By the pure mind, you see the self. You will realize, you will see the soul what it feels and rejoice and relish and rejoice in the self Lord. Rejoice means having unlimited happiness, enjoying it. Rejoice. So Prabhupada always, all the time, is telling, what is the goal of life? The goal of life is to realize itself. That now it's the time you have attained it. That there is chanting the mantra and thinking of Krishna. That when you go deep dive and you have once attained, then you will realize mm, that you have never achieved the happiness that you will achieve. Happiness. Yeah, immediately free from this lamentation, worry, anxiety, all these things will just disappear. It's called when you go to that stage, then you become free. You feel that you are free from this material one. When you feel that you are flying in the sky. This is why sometimes we say higher happiness. And, yeah, and Prabhupada also puts it in the purpose that he doesn't want to come back from that stage. He, that, yes, no, I mean to say that once someone attained to this stage, he has experienced the top of happiness. after that, nobody wants to come down from that stage. Once you tasted this gajar halwa, this gajar halwa is soaked in the ghee and fried with the roasted nuts and everything. It's unbelievable taste. Carrot halwa. Yeah. No other halwa, Tirunelveli halwa, you'll forget. Or Madurai halwa also you'll forget. And this is the just a comparison that the topmost happiness you have not relished so far. That's why we are so much we are thinking about this happiness of this matter, the bodily senses. And Prabhupada says in the purport, the yogi, once he achieved that stage, he becomes completely attached. This says, this is perfect. This is what I wanted. I'll end up by telling a small story. Once one devotee wanted to go to Brindavan. This is a person who is not really devotee, a pious man. He was traveling, he went to Brindavan, and before that, people they said, don't go to Brindavan and don't go to Yamuna. And in case if you go to Yamuna, don't see the person who is holding the flute. If, then he said, okay, okay. He was a pious man and he was just trying to see the yatra stalls. And he was not actually willing, but the more he told, the more he started to think about it. Yamuna, he knew it. He was a constant in his mind. He was it's coming in his mind. They told if you look at him, you will lose every attraction in this material. So it happened that he went there. Somehow he went to Emily. Somehow he went to this, and then somehow he ended up on the same tree which was sitting. And then there was a person who's supposed to be here, who is with Vamsi, I should not look at him. He saw there, there's a big, huge tree. There is nothing. And he was so much intensely hankering that will happen. But it did not happen so far. So far. That he was waiting and waiting for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And somehow, like, Suddenly he saw sitting on the tree, and somehow by grace he could see the person. That the moment he saw someone sitting on the trees, he was moved, completely showered. Beautiful eyes,
அதில்
and there is a ankle bell, and there is a flute. It was it just saw for like a moment or two, saw him like for a moment or two. Suddenly, just then this person started becoming the not only that, by looking at the beauty and it was just for a moment. He went mad. Mad. This is called Samadhi. Hare Krishna. Shri Krishna Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Ki Shri Ram Ki. Lord Brahmanandi. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Samadhi and Shuddha Sattva. That's a question. Hmm. Shuddha Sattva, we call it as pure goodness. Yeah, most of the time, Srila Prabhupada talks about Shuddha Sattva, yes. That pure goodness, free from rajas and tamas. It's a quality of the heart and consciousness, is what it says in Shastra. And samadhi means experiencing, psychologically experiencing, the state of awareness and realization. It's called samadhi. Uh, say, Shuddha Sattva is the internal potency of the Lord also. And it is in Bhāgavatam that uncontaminated consciousness that exists in the spiritual world, it's called Shuddha Sattva. I can quote from Bhagavatam that Sattvam Visuddham Vasudeva Sabditam Yatiyat Tatram Purāṇa, which means the pure state of existence, Shuddha Sattva called Vasudeva, is the condition in which Supreme Lord manifests himself without covering. So when you attain Shuddha Sattva, you will experience Krishna. And some of the state of consciousness in which the mind and intelligence are completely absorbed in Krishna. It's a state of consciousness. And with no distraction. And samadhi does not mean becoming inert. Shuddha Sattva is a platform. It's a platform, and samadhi is an experience. Actually, now we are in the platform of the Sattva, that you are truthful, honest, etc. And there is also a platform called Super Sattva. Real. And the samadhi is experience. In Super Sattva, we experience samadhi and. 90% of the platform. Yeah, Shuddha Sattva also means it's a purified consciousness. Samadhi means the state of absorption that arises. Well, it says when the heart becomes situated in Shuddha Sattva, the mind naturally enters Samadhi. It's relevant. It's coexist together. Exist relevant. And when the heart becomes situated in Shuddha Sattva, the mind naturally enters Samadhi. And also it says it's Ladini Shakti. And Samvit, the Lord mixing the devotee's purified consciousness. That is called Shuddha Sattva. Something very special. Vishesha. Ladini Samvit Ashrayakari Bhakta Sattva Abhasa Rupe Tandrahai Prakash. Which means when the Ladini Shakti and the Samvit Shakti are combined and manifest in the hearts of the devotee, that is called appearance of Shuddha Sattva. Yes, one of details. I think it's what getting this practically what do you call this?